Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Warrior Way. If you saw my YouTube short this morning, I talk about the inner child awakening, and it's kind of like the theme how I feel right now in terms of like what I want to talk about because my whole life I just always felt like a little child, a little kid. And everyone says, grow up, you have to be responsible. And there was always a part of me that never wanted to grow up. I was a kid, but there was parts of like my life that I felt very responsible. My parents got divorced when I was in ninth grade. They got separated, so they were already like in the preparation of divorce. And even prior to that, I always felt this need of being responsible. For some reason, I always feeling this need to be like responsible all the time, even as a child. And this feeling of like having to make phone calls or having to text this one or having to do that. Although there wasn't text messaging, I guess until I got a phone in 10th grade. But in any event, specifically, I could talk about high school because that's like the most memories I can really go back to in a sense of like I remember being there for my brother in some ways. I know that at the time he didn't feel maybe that I was always there, but I used to feel like I would show up to his games and show up to things that for him because my parents were getting divorced and they were going through their own stuff, and I felt like I was a parentified child at a young age where I had to be a parent in many ways. And then me and my sister were very close back then. And I guess I just had this responsibility of like always doing good. I was the good boy Yoni, where I had to be good boy, and I never got in trouble really. And even when I did things that were things that could have gotten in trouble, I was very careful not to cause trouble or to fix it, so it wouldn't affect my family. And I always wanted to make sure that, I felt like my brother was like a little bit of a rebel, and my sister was a little bit of a rebel. Um, and my sister was the the oldest, so she was like leading the way and breaking down barriers. And my brother was the youngest, so maybe he was the most spoiled in a certain sense. So I felt like I couldn't really ask for anything. As I've mentioned, I grew up pretty wealthy, but I never felt the need to ask for anything. I felt like, whatever I had, I had. And I guess in some ways, like I didn't feel like I could be a kid, a full-on kid of just like how sometimes I feel like my daughter is with she just asks and asks. And I know my brother was like that when he was younger. We used to ask a lot for things, and he would get. And especially that's why the youngest kind of realizes that you can ask, and your parents will give to you a lot of times if you just ask. I mean, parents who are like that. And I grew up with this feeling of like I had to be this responsible adult, and this traveled into my life for a very long time, into adulthood, of being responsible and always taking care of things, and always feeling like I'm 1 foot off the edge, where like I was 1 foot from falling off the cliff, in a sense, if that makes sense for any of you out there who understand what I'm talking about. Where like you feel like you're not really living, you're kind of just surviving, and you're kind of just teetering on this place of like, when is the other shoe going to drop and I'm going to lose it all, or I'm going to be like lost in this world. So you never really get to be a child when you feel like that, because you can't ever really fully let go. Like even in a happy occasion, you're it's kind of tight. And the only time I guess I really felt fully myself was maybe when I was playing sports. There was an element of me just full on being that kid, but I had this anger inside me when I was younger. So like the sports kind of I was free in some way, but I had this anger, so I'd retaliate and have revenge when I was playing sports, and I do crazy things in sports activities to hurt people, or if someone did something to me, I'd feel like I wanted to get back at them. So I never was fully on free of like letting go of all that stuff till my spiritual journey, which was again about three plus years ago now at this point. And during this journey, I really started to become a kid again. Like I've mentioned, I started singing and started dancing, and I started doing it all over. And there were parts where I lost it, parts where I came back, and I'm back doing it again, where I'm out there in the world, and I don't always sing and dance, but I do it a lot. I really enjoy being just a kid, and I feel free like a kid. Where I'm not doing it, it's like I was doing it at the beach, and I wasn't singing so loud. Well, I really was. I was singing kind of to myself one day, and I was really just dancing. And this girl walks by me, and if she's watching this, if you know who you are, you know who you are. And she came across, and she said hello, and I said hello, and I took off my headphones. We started a conversation, and she asked me a question about what I'm doing, and I kind of said that there's a lot of people here, so and everyone was close in. There was no the sand to the ocean was very close, so there was a lot of people packed in. So I didn't feel like I really wanted to sing so loud in that area when everyone was already sitting there and I'm coming in later. But I said to her normally, like I would sometimes sing depending on how I feel. In this environment, dancing is fine. And she's like, well, definitely got a lot of attention from the dancing. I'm like, it's the funny. I said to her, I'm not doing it for the attention, but I'm not doing it for the attention. In other words, I know that it could create attention. But I was that kid. I was that kid who, and I still am that kid that I'm not trying to get attention for like to be famous. I'm not trying to get attention so people can give me money. I'm trying to bring love and light into the world where there's a very serious element. And part of my life growing up, I was this very serious kid. I was always known to be very serious. People used to say like, you are so serious. And I was so serious. And I still find myself with like, when it comes to like things I take seriously, like my spiritual stuff, like I'm serious. I sometimes need to stop doing it and like watch a movie or watch TV just to like get out of my spiritual zone because I'll be like meditating, singing, dancing, listening to YouTube videos of like spirituality and like psychic readings about spirituality and all these kinds of videos and everything comes back to spirituality. Even like when I watch shows, I'm like watching like conscious type of stuff because there's like part of me that's still this really serious character that I've always been my whole life. And again, if you can relate to this, you know what I'm talking about. Like when you're so serious, like it's like part of like what I listen to now. Sometimes that they remind me in the videos, like you have to laugh. You have to laugh at yourself. You have to like just watch sometimes, like watch comedies sometimes, just like full on belt laugh. Like just enjoy the laughter of it. Like it's okay. Like life isn't that serious. And like because of this responsible adult that I've been, my since childhood, I feel like I've had to be responsible and I've totally been irresponsible over the last year and a half. And I don't mean irresponsible that I'm not paying my bills. Actually, I pay all my bills, my child support. My ex-wife could vouch for that. I pay all the stuff I need to pay. And actually just got an email that my credit score went up. But I mean, in the sense of like what people say is responsible, like working, getting a job and all this stuff. And I just let it all go and kind of like free falling into, like I mentioned in the video, like free falling into God. But it's because of this inner child that needed to be. I needed to be this child, and I will refuse to go back to not being this way. The people I look up to are the people that are just children all day, like the musicians of the world, the creators of the world. They're all just children who do what they do and just let their inner child run wild. And that's what I am. That's what I've been over the last since my spiritual journey started. I really let go of all the stuff that was holding me down, all that weight, and letting God kind of take over the situation. And like I've mentioned, it doesn't mean it goes away. Like I've been programmed for so long. I've been programmed by so much that to get rid of the programming, it's a lot. It's day in and day out, and that's why the serious part of me is like still pretty serious because I'm like, oh, the programming was dead on strong. But I can breathe and I can breathe into that seriousness and laugh at myself. And as I'm doing this video, like being like, I'm so grateful to be the child, to be that kid running around. Um, I allow myself to get into trouble, whether it's whether it's people coming over to me and stopping me, whether it's police officers coming sometimes and stopping me from singing. But most of the time, it's usually positive interactions over the last, little while. Anytime that someone, really now actually over the last, I would say even a few months, it's only been positive interactions. Actually, no police officers. It's been humans, and then a lot of positivity. I had a nice moment where I was in the park singing and approaching one guy. We were talking, and he's like, "Oh, how come you didn't sing yesterday? Or how come I didn't hear you?" And I said, "Not every time I come here and I sing, I don't sing every time. I discern situations based on certain elements of people, whatever." And he's like, "Who cares? Don't listen to them." And he literally's like, "Fuck them. Fuck those motherfuckers. If they're having a problem with you, that's their problem, not yours." And I was so grateful for him. And I'm truly grateful for people that feel that way when they understand me and they can see my light that I'm just trying to shine. I know I have that. It's that feeling of like, I literally will say hi to you. I'll say hi to everybody that walks by. I have so much love to give. And when people just ignore me, in that place, I send them love. I do sometimes funny things. Like if you're that person who walks by me, I might walk behind you and do like a little dance and like laugh like at myself because like that's my that it's I see everyone as old versions of myself, like different versions of myself, past versions of my seriousness of like, oh, that guy, must be on drugs, he must be crazy. I've had conversations with people about that, like police officers where I would say, like, let me guess, you got a phone call about this guy who's singing like crazy. He must be on drugs. And I said, you know what's funny? I said, I'm sober, but like, it's so funny that the people that are calling, it's like, what are they doing after work? Are they going to have that drink after work when they're sitting down? Are they smoking that bowl? I'm not judging. I used to smoke bowls. I used to have a drink, and I get it, but it's like, takes one to know one. So therefore, you think that the only way that the guy is singing and dancing is by using drugs and drinking. And again, I get it because if you're in that place of like the only way you can get out to go dancing, especially to dance by yourself, like whoa, you're dancing by yourself. Like I have a thing where like I've gone out to places even like I mentioned recently, and like it's hard for me to dance like in public. Not that it's hard for me, I can dance in public. It's that I don't need to, I'm not looking to pick up someone or to dance necessarily with someone. If someone starts to vibe with me, whatever it is, I'll dance from a distance. I'm not trying to get in there with somebody. Like there was a random, like I was at a place and a guy came over and like was trying to like just chill with me. Like it didn't seem like he was into me sexually or anything like that. It was more like just like he was chilling and vibing. And I was like, that was cool. We introduced each other. And girls sometimes get close and they want me to maybe to approach. And I'm just not like, if you come over, I'll dance. But like, I'm not trying to do that. Like I mentioned in one of the videos, like I had that situation happen with a girl, and then she was too aggressive with me, like too physical with me. Like I don't know you, girl. Like it's just like let's ease into this situation. I'm not trying to do more than just dance right here, and it's okay to get close. And it's okay to even touch sometimes, but it doesn't mean I want more than that. Like put your leg around me, as I mentioned in that video. For those who have seen it, like sometimes it's just too much. Like and I've learned like I like my own space, and it's like that child, it's like the little child who's like dancing to the music, and then someone comes over and touches him, and he's like, "Yo, chill, chill." Like the kid's like, "I'm doing my thing. Like you do your thing. Like I'm doing mine. You do yours, and we're good." Like why do you got to go come into my space? And children are very. If you watch like little children, they're actually really good like that. Sometimes they'll even come over to the adult and they'll be smacking the adult or trying to hug the adult. And the second the adult tries to do it to them, they're like running away because they're trying to say like, "Yo, I'm not trying to grab you. I don't know what you want from me, but I don't want anything from you. I just want like to show you. I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm here. I'm sending you love. I'm like having such a good time. I want you to know I'm having such a good time, but you should have a good time too. Like I'm just trying to get you to let go." And kind of like what I feel is I now like ease into situations where I go and I might sit somewhere for a little bit before I even sing and dance. Sometimes I go right into it, but like I really start usually low and I start singing at a lower level because I'm just trying to feel myself and feel into the situation. And then sometimes I feel a good energy from myself, from the energy around, from nature. And then I just go. And then nature sometimes talks to me. When nature gives me the clues, then I know what to do in those moments, whether it's a butterfly that comes by or a swan that showed up for me or dolphins, as I've mentioned. Whatever it is, those are the moments. And those are like the kid, like my emotions just come out like a little child, especially when the dolphins come. Like I just let it out. It's like full on. It's not even a show at that point. It's really just full on, like just my kid like part of me is I don't hold back because I'm so excited. Like I was at the beach and that happened when the dolphins came. But before that, there was two girls that were really pretty, and they were I noticed them and they started coming closer and closer to me, but they didn't actually come over to me, and I couldn't even say hello because like they were trying to get my attention, but I saw them. But every time I looked over, they would look away, and then they sat pretty close to me, and I don't know, maybe they wanted me to come over, maybe they didn't, but I'm not trying to come over to you. I'm not trying to say hello to you. If you come over, I'll say hello. And if you want to sit, you could come sit and you can come chill. I just don't want anything. I don't want more than that. And the dolphins is a good example, or the animals are a good example. Like they're coming over, they don't want anything from me. They just want to be involved in the situation. Like the dolphins are jumping and dolphins are going, and I'm like so excited. I'm like running out to the water. I'm like dancing with them. I'm running with them. I'm like, this is so amazing, and I'm so grateful for the universe. I'm so grateful to God to allow me to know that He's taking care of me. God, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for allowing me to become that inner child, to become that child again, to awaken that inner child, as I mentioned this morning on my video. And I hope that it helps you to like just go back to being a kid, go back to being that child, let him come out. I know you can't necessarily do it in every environment. I get it. And not everyone should or could do necessarily what I'm doing right now. I get that. It's not about being like the person who's talking on the video. It's not about being me and being that. It's just allowing yourself to do it. So like even in your own home, when no one's around, just like turn on the music and start dancing. And then when your children are around, sometimes it's fun too. I don't always do it with my kids here. I really don't do it that much when they're here, to be honest with you, just because I'm doing other things when they're here. Sometimes, sometimes I'll sit down in front and I'll sing and they'll hear me. Sometimes they know I've danced upstairs in my room when they were downstairs, and they know. And I talk to them about it, and they know my deal. They know their dad is wild and crazy, but I'm a wild, crazy kid. All I've wanted to do is become a mature child, and I think I have been. I'm a mature child, responsible, somewhat, but it's okay. Anyway, I really thank you so much for being here. And if you like this video, of course, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps others find videos like this to awaken their own inner child, just to be a kid again. And for those of you who want to be a kid again, comment, or who have become a kid again, or are becoming a kid again, comment. Tell me about your own stories about becoming that child again, things that you've done. I mean, I talked to you about my own craziness, like while dancing and singing throughout the world, Times Square and all these places. I'd love to hear where you've done some wild and crazy stuff yourself. So let me hear from you. And until the next video, have a great day.